Hello, my friends. It's Thursday. Feels like Friday. Been a day off all week. And it's also the 5th. Thursday, see that? I'm almost several months in advance. Thursday, September 5th, 2024. At least I got the year right. So, a couple things on my mind. Some things we'll talk about before people show up, if anyone shows up. Um, because sometimes, the conversations take an agenda on, well, not an agenda, but an avenue, a path, completely on their own. The right people show up, we start talking about things. It turns out to be a lot of fun. Uh, but the quiet time before things start, that's always nice too. So I'm thinking of the prayer of St. Francis as well as Mother Teresa's prayer. Uh, for a lot of different reasons. Right now, I'm dealing with um, the light touch of depression. And I've mentioned before my pretty much lifelong, what used to be a lifelong battle. I would do anything to push it aside. And it was never been as bad as what some people have, but present enough to, make life harder than it should be. The past several years, it's been even lighter, almost like a veil has been lifted a bit, more and more so. But the last 2 or 3 days, it's been a little more present. The key for me has been not to push it aside. Hey, Tandra, how are you? Tandra says, hi, Art, good to see you today. It's good to see you too. The major difference between now, having depression now, and having depression um, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, has been the acceptance of depression instead of the fight against depression. Instead of saying, I'm suffering from depression, there is depression. That it floats in, it stays its stay, and it floats out. If I fight it, if I don't recognize it, if I try to manipulate it in any way, then it's always a bit harder. But yeah, the last few days, it's a bit heavier presence than it's been for a bit. But we navigate through life. Ka'ur says, hi, I'm from Punjab. I appreciate the thumbs up. Thank you, my friend. I wish I knew how better to pronounce your name. So meditation, we've talked about this quite a bit. Meditation, breath work, the practice of yoga, being out in nature, that can all be considered therapy. Maybe the best therapy, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure talk therapy actually does much for depression other than lending an ear. And then it's often tried to be traced back, which I don't think helps. I'm not so sure there's an original cause for things like that. Just think maybe sometimes chemical makeup, genetics, DNA, who knows? I don't know. But again, we work with what we have and we do the things that we do that we know make us feel better. That's where I've been blessed in that I know people who um, experience depression so deeply they can't do the things they know that will help them. I've been blessed in that I've been able, one, to recognize the things that help me, and two, to always be able to get up and do them, to always get in some motion, to always get in um, my breath work, my meditation, and it helps. It does not. It's not a cure. It doesn't lift it. It makes you aware of it. Everything changes in awareness. Everything changes in awareness. Simply being aware. Ash is here. Hey, Ash. Ash says, "Hey, Yogi, I'm back and I have more quotes." Awesome. Ash filled the conversation yesterday with positivity. Nothing but positive quotes. So here's a quote off the top. It's the prayer of St. Francis, which is also a very valuable meditation if you treat it as such, using it as a contemplative practice. And I've explained this in other talks. I actually have a video of using it as what's called passage meditation. You memorize a prayer that is meaningful for you, one that has stood the test of time, so it has a vibrational energy to it, meaning it's been uttered by literally thousands of people through the years, which imparts it with that spiritual essence, so that when we meditate on it, eyes closed, sitting in a chair, nothing special, no special asana, doesn't have to be a special mudra, no special breathing technique. We just close our eyes. We follow the breath in and out, just for a bit. When we feel settled, maybe 2-3 breaths, maybe a minute's worth of breathing, doesn't matter, however long it takes. We enter the prayer one word at a time with just enough space. We say it silently to ourselves, just enough space so that we're able to note the silence between each word, because it's that silence that holds the key. Silence is the only voice of God, said Herman Melville. Let's see, I'll read this in a second. Let's check what Ash has left us. Ash says, get ready, there's more. Your life isn't yours if you always care about what others think. Man, that is profound. Very nice, Ash. That could have been said by the Buddha himself. So we start at the beginning, allowing each word to drop into consciousness, into the still pool, the still ocean of consciousness itself, of which we are. And when we lose track of the words, which we will, we simply go back to the beginning. We start again. You can do that for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Doesn't matter. You get the meditation in. I learned this from Eknath Easwaran, meditation teacher, scholar of mystical texts, as well as Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Dhammapada, translated them all and gave a wonderful commentary on them. And this was his method of meditation, because as he said, and this falls in line with what the Buddha has said, we become what we think upon, we become what we meditate upon. So what better thing than taking a spiritual passage and meditating on that? And he recommended starting with the prayer of St. Francis, which I did. And I'm going to read it now. I had this printed out at one time and taped to my visor in my car so that I could always see it and get the energy, have the energy and the wisdom and the love imparted towards me. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying to self that we are born to eternal life. Two things in that last passage. When he says, O Divine Master, he is talking about the Master that lies within, the Atman, the God spark, the soul of souls that lies within us all. And the other thing, when he says, in dying to self, that we are born to eternal life, it is along the lines of, hey Goga, hey Squirrel Sniper. It is in line with what the Sufis say. Die before you die. And here St. Francis is saying, dying to self, dying to ego, and we are born to eternal life. We die to ego. Ego is temporary. Ego is a collection of thoughts that we carry with us. Believing that's our identity. However, when we die to the ego, we are born to eternal life. We are born to the Atman. We are born to the soul. That is the prayer of St. Francis. I like to call it spiritual alchemy, because when we meditate upon that, we are literally changed. Let me get caught up here, guys. Sniper says, don't forget Ash's quote, change is scary. You know what's scarier? Allowing fear to stop you from evolving, growing, and progressing. Beautifully said. Ash is on a roll. These are original quotes from Ash. Squirrel Sniper says, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies, and a very soggy, been torrential rain all day. Only just stopped. The hot bath is beckoning. I bet. Man, were you out working in it all day? Ash says, hey to Sniper, and our friend Goga is here. Guys, I hope you subscribe to Goga. Goga says, blessings everyone. Blessings to you, my friend. Excuse me, guys. Fall allergies. Sniper says, greeting to Goga, and Tanja says, hi, School and Goga. Ash says, quote more above, Yogi. So I got the change and the life isn't yours. I think I got them both, right? Squirrel Sniper says, Judith never got to spend his 30 pieces of silver. I thought it has been on my mind a long time ago. What do you think of Judas being part of the divine plan? Had not Judas betrayed Jesus, then the crucifixion wouldn't happen, which would have denied the resurrection. There's a wonderful quote in A Course in Miracles that the only lesson of the cross is that we will all survive our own crucifixion. And life, there's always going to be an opportunity. There's always going to be something, someone, some event that is going to feel like our crucifixion. And the lesson from Jesus. How do you survive your crucifixion? Forgiveness. The resurrection comes from forgiveness, as we are, as St. Francis said, we are born to eternal life. Forgiveness goes against everything the ego wants. The ego wants to hold a grudge, wants to hold a grievance, wants to have a judgment. However, when we bypass the ego through the act of forgiveness, again, it goes back to what St. Francis said. We die to the self, and we are reborn into spirit. Because, again, the ego never wants to forgive. The ego can't forgive. It's against its very essence. Hey, Mike, how are you? What's going on in the kitchen today, Mike? Ash says, life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. Nice. Ash has got some awesome stuff. So that was Prayer of St. Francis, which was one of my first forms of meditation, was the contemplative passage meditation practice. I started that in the very early 1990s. In the 1980s, I did some visualization practices that I read about in a book of yoga. No formal training. I just read it and I tried. visualization of a candle. You start the flame, you close your eyes, and you visualize the flame. My parents were not too happy with that meditation technique. Being a young man, young boy actually, still in my early teens, actually pre-teens as well. Lighting a candle and closing my eyes, not what they wanted. Give me 1 second, guys. So let me give you another prayer that is very meaningful for me and is pertinent. Making sure I got that word correct, pertinent. This was attributed to Mother Teresa. It was at her, the children's hospital that she was presiding over in Calcutta, the poorest of the poor, children that we cannot even imagine their suffering. So we get all kinds of, we get 6 thumbs up from our friend Mike. Thank you, Mike. Tandra says, Ash, they have really good quotes. They are, aren't they? Hey, Tandra, do you have a favorite quote that has helped you through some difficult times? Guga, my friend, if you're hanging out, what about you? They can be original. Or they can be from someone else. What is it that guides you through the dark? I would imagine all of us here have experienced our share of darkness, time to time. Ash says, thanks, Tandra. And a bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere until you change it. Clever. Very clever. I would not have thought of that. So this was attributed to Mother Teresa. She didn't write it, though. It was actually called, she had it hanging up in the hospital because it was inspirational for her. It was actually written by Kent Keith, who titled it The Final Analysis. But because it was discovered in an interview with Mother Teresa, everyone called it Do It Anyway by Mother Teresa. I don't know if she ever corrected him or not. Not that she needed to. This is really meaningful. If you're trying to do anything creative, social media, let's say YouTube in particular, or you're sharing your writing somewhere, and someone is always going to be there to let you know you're not good enough. What you did wasn't good enough. Do better. Someone's always going to want to tear down what you do. This really addresses that quite a bit. Planet males, not enough men. Squirrel. Thumbs up to Squirrel Sniper. Planet males, not enough men. Ash says, happiness is a mood. Positivity is a mindset. Nice. So, the final analysis. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God, It was never between you and them anyway. Man, I absolutely love that. Absolutely. Reminds me, hey Sue, how are you? Sue waves to Yogi and Ash and Squirrel and Tundra. Um, Reminds me of our friend Dottie, who built a beautiful channel, refurbishing a medical van into a camper van, and she was bullied and attacked online, viciously so, to the point where she shut down her channel. Once she came back, started building again, she was attacked again. She shut down her channel, and she thought about it and said, you know what? I'm not going to let it happen again. I'm not going to be chased off. I'm not going to stop presenting that which I love to other people because of what someone else is tearing down. So for you guys who are building your YouTube channel, someone somewhere is, hopefully not, I don't want to say probably, but we've all had the experience in social media where people will, just for the sheer pleasure they get for whatever reason, they'll try to tear something down. When you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the best you have anyway. Always between you and God. Never between you and anyone else. The Shadow Demon. Hey, my friend, how are you? Eric Point says, it's easier to carry 2 buckets of water instead of 1 full bucket. Eric Point. It's easier to carry 2 buckets of water instead of 1 bucket of water. Is that true? I have no reason to doubt it. Eric Lapointe said it. Let's not ponder it. Let's accept that as fact. Guys, when you find yourself in a position, carry 2 buckets of water. Plus, you never know who's going to need that extra bucket. It's a win-win. Ash says, I'd rather be annoyingly positive and optimistic than destructively negative and hateful. Nice. I like that one. And you know what? You could be as positive and optimistic as you want here, and you will never, ever be annoying in the least. Sue waves at Eric. How's life on the Susquehanna, Sue? Ash says, hey to Sue. The Point says, so everyone can't text much, but hello. Appreciate you being here, though. Hey, Destiny. Destiny says, blessings to you, my friend. How are you? Checking in on you. Much appreciated, Destiny. I've been having some difficulties, but I'm doing okay. How are you, my friend? Sue says, I have a beautiful dragonfly visiting on my wind chime, and it's been there for about an hour now. Posted some really neat pictures of it. Nice. You know what? You said that just in time, because just above, our friend Destiny, her spirit guide, her spirit animal, say spirit guide, is a dragonfly. Sue's waving at Destiny. Destiny says, hello and love to you, Eric Lapointe. It's always good to see you. She says, blessings and happy Thursday to Squirrel Sniper. Sorry, 2 buckets. 2 half buckets. Well, that changes everything. Man, I'm glad you corrected that, because I almost went out with 1 bucket of water. Ash says, old ways won't open new doors. That is astute. Very wise. That is something that Einstein alluded to when he said, you can't solve the problem with the same mind that created it. You need a paradigm shift. We are reluctant to have paradigm shifts, personally and societal. Society itself is very reluctant. Sue is waving at Laradox. Hey, Laradox, if you would like to address the issue with Optimob, the floor is always open. No, not asking for an apology. I'm not going to get involved in it. I don't know how or why my channel was posted in that thing, but it's not about an apology, it's about an explanation. You made serious allegations against Optimob, who's a friend of mine, or was a friend of mine, as he's very displeased with me, because I actually don't know why he's displeased with me, but you hurt him. Not personally. You made allegations that are hurtful to his channel. So anyway, I'm not, this isn't a condemnation. I'm not coming down on you, but it's, you owe an explanation, not to me, not to anyone here. You owe an explanation to Optimob, why you did that. Because that could ruin someone's life when you make this kind of allegations against someone. Again, even though I was told that I was involved because someone put my email address on that link, in the way other than wanting to be there for a friend, I am not involved. So that's all. That's all. Moving on. So Destiny says, I love the dragonfly, just when Sue. It is one of my spirit guides. The dragonfly always comes to bring peace and assure me that I'm where I need to be in my life, and that all is well with me. Beautiful, Destiny. I know we've talked about this before. If you visit Just One Sill, several pictures. Ash says, some people are like clouds. When they disappear, it becomes a brighter day. Nice. Greg, my friend. Greg, how many days are we away from your birthday? Greg is saying hello to Laradox. Eric Point says, in Troll and Terrace channel. Destiny says, Eric Point says, I was another friend that posted, also correct? Were you on that? I didn't even realize that I was posted in that until Optimob brought it to my attention. Ash, or Destiny says, I love that saying, Ash. That is so true. Bless up, friend. Ash is awesomely inspired. Sue says, oh, nice, Destiny. So Sue, you were a nice messenger for our friend Destiny, bringing that little gift of love. This is why everyone needs to be their true creative self. Put the stuff out there that you're called to put out there. Let your heart speak. It's why I love doing the little nature shorts. You just never know who it's going to touch, who's going to be need that message, who's going to need the dragonfly, who's going to need the yoga squirrel, who's going to need something that brightens their heart on a day when nothing seems bright. everything is heavy. You never know. Sue has done that. Sue has offered me the bright skies of the Susquehanna River. I know that's a mixed metaphor, but you guys know what I mean. Eric LaPointe has done that. Destiny with her inspiration. Our friend Ash with her quotes. Someone ever says, what difference can you make? Well, I'm just telling you right now, you can make a world of differences. One person, one thing that you post can make a world of difference. It has to me. I started off the conversation talking about after a long absence, having that light touch of depression descend upon me. It's been probably over a year. And just key things have triggered. Maybe it's the time of year, the switch of seasons. I don't know. But it was there. So I look for those little things of brightness. And you know what? Sometimes just seeing a channel's name, knowing who it is, just seeing Destiny, just seeing Sue, just seeing Eric, just seeing Ash, just seeing our friend William, it makes a difference. Our friend Sabine is here. Sabine, my friend, how are you? William says, hello, what have I missed? We've been sharing quotes again, just positive quotes. Ash, ones that are meaningful. Ash has them by the bucketful. Sue's waving at William. Let's see. Maruko. It'd do better when I pronounce it faster. When I tried to sound it out, I mangled it. And he helped me, which I appreciate. How are you, my friend? Sabine says, I'm fine. I'm glad to hear that. Sue says, this time of year, my depression gets a little worse. Having my YouTube channel keeps my mind occupied. I agree. So, yeah, it probably is the changing of the season. Sabine says, hi, Eric LP. Desi says, to Sue, the short vids you posted of the Dragonfly was absolutely gorgeous and peaceful to watch. Great filming. Sue is masterful at that. Sue will be a little modest when I say this. Sue's one of my favorite artists. Destiny says, hello and blessings to Sabine Optimum. And Morocco. Ash says, sorry, needed to go. Something popped up. Enjoy the live. Lots of love. Well, thank you, Ash. Thank you for the positivity. Desi says, hello and happy Thursday, William Hart. Oops, I missed a comment from William up above. There you go. Scroll, they used his 30 silver to purchase the Bloodfields. Did not know that. Squirrel Sniper was talking about Judas. Sue says, thank you, Destiny. Destiny says, enjoy your day, Ash, on pause. Take care, my friend. Does my heart good to know that there are young people in the world, people who are going to be our future leaders, voters, in position of influence. There's people like that in the world, full of hope and positivity. Hey, our role as elders, and very few people are as elder as I am, It's to encourage it, to guide, without offering change. Sometimes I wonder, did everything change in our lives when the first school teacher came up to us and said, you need to color within the lines, or the sky can't be green, grass can't be blue, the ocean can't be brown. Got to use the right crayon. Got to see the world the way I see it. And someone did. Someone told us such a thing. The great Jesuit priest and mystic Anthony de Mello said once when we were children, we would look into the sky and see magically winged creatures soaring through the air, dancing on the wind, and that never failed to astound us. And then some well-meaning adult came along and said, oh, it's a sparrow. Gave it a label. Slightly dismissive. And from that point on, we lost the magic. We shrugged. Oh, it's a sparrow. I saw that yesterday. Roy says, yes, they deemed the silver unclean and could not return it to the treasury. I was talking about it above. Judas was playing his role in the divine plan. Had he not betrayed Christ, there would be no crucifixion. Without the crucifixion, there would be no resurrection. Without the resurrection, we wouldn't know that everything is reborn through forgiveness. Because remember, Jesus hung from the cross and said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Meaning, look beyond the anger, look beyond the clouded thoughts, look beyond the judgment, the grievances, the resentments, and see the original innocence. That's how we forgive. You see the original innocence. Doesn't mean you condone the action. You always return to the original innocence. Hey, Brian, how are you? Sue says, I have a young man who follows me, and him. He does stop motion animation. Wow. Stop motion animation videos, and I'm trying to help him grow. I posted his channel on my community page if anyone would like to check him out. I would like to check him out, and feel free to drop the link here if you want. Everyone's always happy, or I'm always happy. Everyone is always, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to, feel free to drop a link of yourself or of anyone that you find meaningful. Let's see, our friend Destiny says, life begins instantly through what you see through your mind's eye. Where positive or negative, it plays out. What it hears and sees, by Dr. Destiny. Wise words, encouraging words, because that means your life can change in an instant, as Destiny just says. Life begins instantly. Course in Miracles says the same thing. Buddhism says the same thing. Yoga says the same thing. But I love how Course in Miracles says it, especially. And now I especially love how Destiny says it. Life is all about our perception. We can only navigate through which we perceive. We can only navigate through the world that we perceive it as. If we go within and we change our projections, the perception changes. Everything changes. Sue is waving at Brian. How you doing, Brian? Hey, Brian did a talk 2 days ago, and he talked about his journey, his channel, where he's going. He said some kind words about me, which I very much appreciated. But he hit upon the topic of karma, and he described it so perfectly. Check out his video. Check out all of Brian's video, but that video in particular and his talk on karma, spot on. Let's see. Destiny says, blessings to you and happy Thursday, Brian Lane. Where is our friend Brian? Brian is at 961 subs. 961 well-deserved subs. She says, here's Sean's channel. Hey, Unc, how are you? How you feeling after your big session? 110 pumps. Sue, I just subscribed to Sean. Thank you for dropping that link. Unc says, aloha, thanks for stopping by my live. Absolutely, my friend. Destiny says, happy Thursday and love to you, Burpee Yoga Uncle. Sue waves Burpee. Unc says, aloha, Doc Destiny. And yes, 90% of our body is water. Watching your vid. Unc says, how's it to just one Sue? Brian's waving at Unc. Eric's Point says, Unc did 1,680 push-ups. 110 pumps, 106 pumps. And some extras. Unc says, just did 208 burpees, 110 10 pumps, and 106 pumps. So I got to 1,680 push-ups for my 1,600th day of burpees, which is today. Congratulations. Happy 1,600th anniversary. Destiny says, absolutely. And well, thank you to Unc for watching that water video. She says, thanks. His videos are amazing. Did a stop motion video of high school with the art class. Nice. I'll be after the live stream. I'll be checking it out. Eric Point says, hi, everyone that came in. Hey, Unc got he got a few more. Because I think it was rep 78. Might have been 76. I don't remember now. Where he did the rep and said 76. And then he chatted for just a minute. And then he said, okay, I'm on 76. And I wanted to help him out. And I said, nope, you're on 77. You're one up. But that was mistranslated to thinking he had to do 76 again. And then I said, nope, you're one over. And he thought it was over again. So he did another rep. And I figured I better keep quiet or I'm going to inadvertently have him do too many extra reps. So he got two more that I counted. Unc says, dang, 5+ hours for you. That is endurance, Eric LaPointe. Congrats on the Holy Grail Club. Word on the street is that our friend Jace will be doing 1,000 tomorrow. Celebrate his 1K subscribers. Brian salutes to Eric LaPointe. Trending, my friend, how are you? Hey, Yogi, rewinding. Watch, sorry I missed you. That's okay, my friend. Dusty says, yes to Eric LaPointe. Burpee Unc did slay his burpees workout today. As always, very impressive to watch. We got some laughing emojis from Eric LaPointe. How you feeling, Buddha? Dusty says, blessings and love to trending support. Unc says, he's laughing. I am old and senile. When I doubt, I always redo the rep. That's the way to do it. I just figured I better keep quiet. I was just making things worse for you. Dusty says, how are you doing, Brian Lane? It's really good to see another talking video from Brian. It's always great to see him in action. But I really enjoy I always enjoy his nature videos, but I also really enjoy when he just sits and he looks at the camera and he speaks from his heart. Nothing planned, um, just wings it, and it's always meaningful. Buddha saying hi to everyone. Tom just says hi to Just One Sue. And to Eric LaPointe. Let's see. Unc says, if Jace wants a wingman, tell him to send me a comment. I will do it with him. Nice. Way to step up, Unc. Not surprising. That tells you a couple things about Unc. What good shape he's in, how great his recovery is, and what a good friend he is. Stepping up, help someone through. If he pops in this evening, I will make sure to mention that to him. Let's see. Buddha says, hey to William. Jennings says, this Buddha, hi everyone. Destiny says to Unc, Eric LaPointe, slay the Holy Grail the other day and did a little over 5 hours. So awesome. It was awesome. Buddha says, rewinded yogi. I appreciate that. And Flower is here. Says she's back. Not only she's back, she is Flower again. She's always been Flower. She will always be Flower. Back to her original self. You just missed Ash by maybe 10 minutes. Desi says, so blessings to you, Flower. Unc says, if I knew Eric was going to do the grill ahead of time, I would have joined him. But I saw it today. I had to go on a short trip. Man, he definitely grinded through it. 1 rep at a time. And you know what? Never got discouraged. Was always engaged. You know what I mean? Always chatting with people, getting energy from people who were there. Sniper says, William Hart, greetings, my friend. Flower says, anyway, I kind of got to go because school. It's going by, but well, the OGs are here. The OGs are here. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, hey, Castle, I missed you. I'm sorry. Castle says, good day, Sir Yogi. Good day to you, my friend. Hope you're well. I hope you're making a little bit of time to get in some yoga. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll have Milka handy, and we'll do everyone should have a Milka handy, by the way, and we'll do another yoga routine. What I want to present with the yoga is not half-hour workouts. I don't want to present workouts. I've got tons of workouts. I want a gentle yoga practice that is in line with the tradition of yoga, that opens up the energy centers, the chakras along the spine, that opens up the heart center, that helps us sit in meditation, and just makes the body feel better, that you can do in 5 minutes when you wake up in the morning. Remember the Yoga Sutras as presented, or yoga asanas as presented in the Yoga Sutras, postures, asanas, are only mentioned 3 times total. Let's see. Flower says, after like and my presence. Bye, Yogi. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Well, have a nice evening, Flower. Everyone says hi to Flower. Flower says hi to everyone. Destiny says, Buddha. Hey, Joe. How are you? Joe, you just missed Goga not too long ago. 15 minutes, maybe? Lucky is here. Lucky, my friend, how are you? Lucky says hi. Eric Point says, kind words from everyone. It is greatly appreciated. Blessings to you all. It was definitely inspiring, Eric. Jesse says, hello and happy Thursday to Joe Delaney. It is Thursday. Who's thinking it was Friday all day? Sampa says, I am nursing sore ribs today after working. 3 or 4 on my left side, yet don't remember doing it earlier. Huh. Hopefully, you said you're going to take a warm shower. Hopefully the shower, Hopefully the shower helped. I got that. Joe says, hello to Mr. LaPointe. Flower says, hi, Joe, and bye. Tessie says, my hat off to you, Eric LaPointe. You did super amazing. Pay honor and respect to where it's due and given. Absolutely. Tanya says, Yogi, I'm listening while eating dinner now. Well, thank you, Tanya. Much appreciated. Sniper says, hi to Joe Delaney. Yeah, about yoga routines. I figured there's so many great yoga channels out there. More than I can actually name. Yoga with Adriene, awesome. But not everyone has the time to do 30-minute or 45-minute or an hour yoga routine. I did every single day. 90 minutes of Bikram yoga in 103 temperature room for almost 2 years, sometimes twice a day. But we don't need to. Destiny says, hashtag, thanks, Eric, and enjoy your day. Some of my favorite hashtags are from Destiny. Thank you, Destiny. So a lot of people have asked me, would I lead a yoga class? I don't know if it would be worth everyone's while because it would be over in 10 minutes. Now, my own routine, I do about 30 minutes early in the morning, and I do another 10 minutes a bit later in the morning. But my favorite stuff is just doing the easy yoga flow, holding each posture for a count of 3 to 5 breaths. Maybe if you find yourself in a deep pause, kumbhaka, that space, breath retention, where you find yourself paused, maybe hold it for a little bit longer, but it's not necessary. As I mentioned before, the yoga that I teach, Raja Yoga, more specifically, I teach meditation and pranayama and the ethics, which are vital. I'm often asked by people who want to learn meditation, how come their mind never gets still? How come it never gets quiet? And the answer is twofold, maybe threefold. One is, do you have a proper focus? Do you have a mantra? Or are you following the breath or some other technique? And are you trying too hard? Are you concentrating too hard? Because the aspect of mantra yoga, what makes it so beautiful as a practice, you're not concentrating. It's effortless. The mind has all kinds of thoughts, and you bring it back to the mantra. It wanders away again, and you bring it back to the mantra. When you're training a puppy, you don't demand a puppy to do what you tell it to right now. You gently train the puppy. You bring it back. The mind is like a puppy. Let's see. Squirrel Temper says, smash the like button. Don't make come find you and do it for you. You don't want that. You don't want the Squirrel Sniper. And he can find you. Have no doubt about that. The Squirrel Sniper can find you. Desi says, the fellowship gives us strength regardless of where we are in our faith, beliefs, and our religion. It also gives us amazing benefits. And all bring this amazing benefits to our fellowship. Absolutely. And I love that term. And I have since we first stumbled upon the Fellowship of Beingness. It was Destiny, and we had Odom, Osiris to come along. Our friend the Burpee Reaper, who is here now, was part of that as well. Had some great talks with all of you guys. It formed the foundation of what I wanted to do on my channel. It's why I decided to stick doing live streams and make it the focus of what I wanted to do. I love my nature shorts, and I love doing the talking videos as well as my workouts. I started out as a workout channel talking about meditation, yoga, and it became the Fellowship of Beingness with varying degrees of success. Meaning, man, I had to weather through a whole lot of stuff. And we still do. Things have a tendency to throw us off track. Hashtag, the Burpee Reaper made me do it. I know he has made me do 5 Pump Fridays. I'm not thrilled with that. But again, the Burpee Reaper made me do it. Sometime in the next few days, I'm supposed to look in the camera and shout out Raiders. I'm not sure what day I'm going to do that. You know why? Burpee Reaper made me do it. Destiny says, so that's the Burpee Reaper. William says, you do not dismiss the ideas, you simply recognize it exists and then return. Absolutely. Nicely said, William. Very nicely said. I don't even remember why I was talking about meditation. But if anyone has any questions. Reaper says, good morning, beautiful YouTube family. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you, Reaper. Reaper is 2 days away from vacation. William says, hello everyone I missed. I was just stuffing my fat face with food. What are you eating, William? What is the berry of the day? I got the gift of blueberries from Milka today. Just says hello to William. Reaper saying hi to everyone. William says, hello and welcome in everyone. Burpee Reaper gives a salute and says, Raiders, it's coming, Eric. I might try to do it Sunday. I got to practice. I can't tell you the last time I raised my voice. Mocha says she's heard me raise my voice once in almost 23 years. Desi says, when we connect with one another, being of similar or of the same interests, or even like-mindedness, we form an unbreakable fellowship of beingness. Thank you, Eric McCarty, for bringing us all together as one. And thank you, Destiny. It would not, without that original energy, without the right vibratory qualities that each one of us possess in the right amount, none of this would have been. None of it. I can guarantee you that. I can promise you that. One of my favorite conversations, Destiny and the Burpee Reaper and I talk politics. And I hardly ever talk politics. And none of it was ever contentious. None of us said who are you voting for or what party you belong to. We talked about the politics of hope, of how things could be, how things should be. And it was awesome. I also had an amazing conversation about football with the Burpee Reaper, and I don't talk football with anybody because I don't know anything about football, except for the 1971 Miami Dolphins and 1965 Green Bay Packers, and a bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers through the 1970s, a little bit about Washington Redskins, 1983-ish. I'm very specific in my sports knowledge for some reason. Sniper says, can I send you a chart, Eric? And you please do a review of what your findings are without any knowledge beforehand? Certainly. I can send it and I can look at it. And if I have anything come into mind, talk about it this evening or the next time that you come in. Reaper says, just dig deep, Eric. It's got to be there. The Raider's heart has to be in there. I can look for it. And when I find it, when I find that primal Raiders essence, I'm just going to close my eyes and let it loose. It's going to be blood chilling, guys. Here's the thing. Don't have hot liquid in your hand when you hear me yell. Because don't have liquid in your mouth. It's going to spew out everywhere. Don't drink soup. Because it'll fly out of your hands, guys. William says, I wish it was berries. It is a piece of Silver Hills, Omega Geising sprouted bread. I haven't heard of Silver Hills. Toast is split in half. One half of avocado toast, the other half organic dry roasted peanut butter and bananas. That sounds good, though. It sounds as good as blueberries. Man, it's been a long time since I've had avocado. I might be having pancakes on Sunday. William says, kind of a full day's worth of meals and a single toast. That is the genius of toast. Shrek says, 2024, vote for me. You got it. Hey, Bo, I can't promise that yet. What platform are you running on? Unk says, best to talk about weather. In Brock we trust. Reaper says, Unk the goat. William says that it's good to hear squirrel. I would be interested in the chart. William says, in burpees we do. Rise words. We get smiling faces from Reaper. Unk says, you to go, Burpee Reaper. You've been hauling Oakley with your long routines. Yeah, no doubt about that. Destiny says, not even the Washington Redskins back in the 70s. They moved on now, Eric M. They have. I don't even know their name anymore. I know it was nothing for a while, and then they changed it to something. It was in high school. Was the Joe Theismann era. And guys, do you remember LT, Lawrence Taylor, hitting Theismann? The leg snap heard around the world. And then they showed it on every network over and over and over again. Night Watchers here says, driving to my grandma's house in rural Bangladesh. I got attacked by night raiders. Are you okay? Is your family okay? Unk says, I appreciate hearing that from Unk. That's high praise for sure. William says, yikes to Night Watcher. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you all right? And what is the beauty of toast? Oh, getting all those meals. Getting a full day's worth of meals on a piece of toast. Because you can put so much on a piece of toast. Destiny says, okay, everyone, I have to go. And we'll see you all at another time. Thanks, Eric M., for the wonderful time spent here today. Much love. Much love to you, Destiny. Thank you for being here and reuniting the original Fellowship of Beingness. Let's see. Reaper says, I'll say it. They are the Washington Redskins baby. Washington Redskins baby. But what were they? I know they were. Give me 1 second, guys. Replying to Mocha. Oh, see, at first I thought you were calling them the Washington Redskins that they were babies, as you didn't like them as a team. Now I see what you're saying. Reaper says, have a great day to Sister Destiny. William says, thank you for stopping in, Destiny, and glad to see you around again. Absolutely. Well, Nightwatcher says, yeah, but dented the car by throwing boulders. I'm sorry about that, Nightwatcher, but I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad your family's okay. William says, I have a question. How do you deal with, or rather continue to support stuff you do not like or appear to resonate with? It can be argued it is nothing sunk costs, but time invested, etc. It's a good question, William. Um, I talked about how forgiveness isn't the way we've traditionally been taught, where we are forgiving something, or we're forgiving an issue, or we're forgiving a person. We are seeing past the issues because we all have them, every one of us. We've all done things we'd rather not be judged upon. We judge ourselves on them, so we don't want other people doing it. So the key is you see past that to the original innocence. You forgive the way Jesus instructed from the cross. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. No one knows what they're doing. If Jesus could forgive those who put him upon the cross by seeing that their original innocence was still intact, how much is it easier for us? We are not put upon a cross. We're not being crucified. If we can't look down and see the original innocence in another, we deny it within ourselves. If we look and we try to find it within ourselves, we have no choice but to give it to other people. We receive what we give. So how do I support? I don't support stuff that I don't like. I try to support the person. I try to support the motive. Does that make sense? I look for what I can support. And maybe if I don't find anything, it is better to walk away. I have a tendency maybe to keep looking. Walking away doesn't mean walking away with spite or saying I did my best. Maybe you come back and you look again. Maybe you come back from a new angle. But we all need to get that little bit of space, because without it, how do we maneuver? It's also knowing that situations and things and people, they change in their own time. Applying pressure to any of it is never going to change anything. It's a great question, boy. Reaper says now they are the Washington Commanders. Huh. That doesn't quite, I don't find that stirring. Maybe it's just because, man, I grew up with the Washington Redskins. I don't know. William says, would you not declutter the mess of doing this with your life to be more at peace? I would, which is why I don't do a whole lot of doing this. And I have a clutter of books and a clutter of running shoes, but I do my best to keep things spacious. And the way I do that is to recognize my own spaciousness. And you can see that. I did a video on the members channel, self-inquiry, on our headlessness, where you literally recognize your own. It's a Zen awakening, samadhi, instant awakening. All you got to do is point and point in the right direction. And how can anything be cluttered in this spaciousness of which I am? If I am innately capacity, emptiness that serves for the possibility of everything, then how could I ever be cluttered? How could anything within this infinite beingness ever be cluttered? Unc says, y'all go tonight. I am afraid of Mohammed's is going becoming the Jordan era in football. Oh yeah, football starts tonight, right? This is I should know this because it's the Ravens. I'm not a Ravens fan, even being in Baltimore or close to Baltimore. Now the Baltimore Colts, that's a different story. The Ravens were pretty good last year, right? They made it to the playoffs. Jesse says, known as Washington Redskins until 2020, the Washington franchise took the name Washington Commanders in 2022. Thank you. Reaper says they were the Washington football team. Well, could they think of a blander name? They could have gotten rid of football and just said Washington team. They could have gotten rid of Washington and just said team. William says, there will always be the Redskins to me. The PC scene is ridiculous. People get offended on the behalf of others, but removing the connotation or relation to Native Americans seems worse. Cleveland Browns. Reaper says, I'm not offended. Cleveland Browns are now the Ravens. I remember how heartbroken Baltimore was when the Colts packed up in the middle of the night. And there was during a blizzard. And you saw no sound. The newscasters followed the trucks. No sound on the TV. And then we hated Indianapolis for taking our team. And yet when the Browns came up, no problem. Let's see, William says, right. But for example, Eldox, I have not particularly resonated with their content or their actions. I welcome them and forgive them, but I cannot see myself going to their channel. No need to. You know your limits. And there's no need to exceed them. I think you're right where you need to be, William. And the reason for the welcome and for the forgiveness isn't for them. It isn't for our friend. It's for your own peace of mind. That's what forgiveness is all about. But through that peace of mind, other people have the opportunity to come about to their own change of nature. You're allowing them the space to do so without making any demands. So in my opinion, William, you're on the money. You nailed it. Sniper says, William Hart, I only popped in last night to ask what was going on. I'm still waiting for a response. I've asked him that every time he's shown up here. And he says, I'm sorry, Laradox, or I'm sorry, Optimob. And I keep saying, it's not about the apology. It's about an explanation. And what will you do to fix it? How are you going to retract it? Are you going to make a video? You're going to look in the camera and tell the truth? No response. That's not true. I did get a Jesus loves you yesterday, which I have no doubt that Jesus does love me. Buddha says, let's see, BG. Unk says, we have a lot of mental issues and first world problems. Got to help our country. I agree. Got to help our country. William says, they apparently accused Tima of being a Choco. Yes. Jesse says, we grew up with the Washington Redskins. Destiny lived in DC. I lived down the street, yep, from the stadium as a teenager and attended many of their games. Always will be a huge fan. um, I was right in the middle between Baltimore and DC. So I'll tell you, not being overly involved in football, although I did play football uh, one season in high school, not very successfully. Could have been more successful. I didn't care about football. Anyway, but I love training. And my coach actually said, "You don't like football, do you?" And then I said, "No." And he said, "Just come in and work out. Work out with the team. Come in, lift. You can use the weight room whenever you want." So I started training for bodybuilding, and I was infinitely happier. Once we were so ahead in a game, and I was sitting on the bench, and the coach says, "McCarty, you want in?" And I said, "No, I'm good." And he looked at me, he's like, "What do you mean you're good? Everyone wants to play. You've been waiting for this." I was like, "Nah, you know, I'll be there for practice tomorrow, but I'm good right now." Never went in. I was good. I did go in once in a game because it's basically everyone was like, "Get in. You got to get in. You got to play one full game in your high school career because we know you're not coming back next year." So anyway, being in the middle, I could go for the Skins. I could go for the Colts. I did like Joe Theismann, so back in those days, and I loved John Riggins. There was nobody tougher than John Riggins. Score Simple says, "I've attached a couple of pictures for you on Facebook Messenger, Eric." Thank you, Sniper. Destiny says, "Eric McCarty, I was in Baltimore too, rooting for the Baltimore Colts. Love them too." That was so great about living this close to both teams. Memorial Stadium. I saw the Colts, and man, I love going to Oriole games. Did not care for baseball, but I loved going to the games because I was with my dad. Um, I think when he saw that I really wasn't into the game, he sort of gently shifted out of that. But although I wasn't into baseball, I'm still not into baseball. I absolutely love baseball because it is the soundtrack of America. It's the soundtrack of America from April to late October. Everyone can relate to it. Almost everyone can talk about it. There's a game on somewhere all the time. You can go to the barbershop, you can go to a restaurant, you can go to a bar, you can go to wherever, and there'll be a game in the background, and you know you're exactly where you need to be. You're in a baseball loving, God bless the USA country. And Dusty says, "Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now, and much love. Much love to you, my friend." So I think we'll wrap it up in a minute, too. I wasn't sure I was even going to make it an hour, to be honest, guys. I wasn't sure I'd even make it 15 minutes. I was feeling pretty down when I came on. And although I still have that presence, the dimness, the shadow of the touch of depression intermingling, I feel better through it, if that makes sense. Not gone, but I feel better through it. I touched base with my essential self. Or maybe I just talk so much that I've talked myself into a better place. William says, "Together we accomplish much." Yes, we do. A lot of energy. Destiny says, "I stayed at the Baltimore Orioles game too. Just called In the Sports by y'all. Take care, my friend." You know, and yoga as well as Buddhism, it's called the Sangha, the spiritual community. Sangha. And that's what I feel that we have. We have that spiritual community, and it doesn't matter what spirit-based practice or belief or whatever. It's that very openness itself that allows us all to come together. So, all right, yeah, let's wrap it up. Rowan says, have a good evening, everyone. See you in maybe 3 hours. That is Williams, his own signature of Eric Lapointe's Another Great Live with a thumbs up. All right. So, that's it. I'll see everyone later.